This General Assembly is really important because of some of the issues that are being talked about, especially the possible committee on the effective use of women in our denomination in ministry, and also the racial reconciliation, civil rights overture. So I think for me to be here as one of, I think, 51 African American teaching elders, not so much to make sure things pass as to make sure that we are supporting things that should pass, because as a continuing church, there are things that have been with our denomination that we do need to maybe make a statement on, so that we can maybe draw more minorities into our denomination. Sometimes minorities will come to a place and it may look like an interesting place to be, or even they may feel that God has called them to a place like the PCA, like I did when I came out of the African American Pentecostal movement, which for a lot of people that seems like a tough sell to come from being a pastor for 10 years in the Church of God in Christ and then landing in the Presbyterian Church in America. And back in '97, I think I might have been maybe number 15, because we're all saying that the black pastor should just wear black shirts with numbers on the back. That way you know which order we came in to the denomination. But what helped me come into the denomination was coming into a church like New City Fellowship in Chattanooga, where I liked Randy Neighbors. We were both Army chaplains, loved the music. Jim Ward was just great. And they appeared to understand the struggles of being a minority, especially an African American, and not just in a denomination, but in the country. So that kind of made me feel like I had allies in my own struggle as an African American male. So it felt like they were saying, we really need you. And that's not something that I had really heard from a white evangelical group of people, that they needed me. And it started with Jerram Bars when I was at Covenant Seminary in '95. Jerram, he would always say, you know, we need more African American leadership in our denomination. And I would always just, you know, look at him and just, yeah, I'll pray for you, you know, because I'm not coming to the PTA. But I think the relationship that I had with Jerram, and I think this is why relationship is so powerful, because Jerram basically, this is probably not a word, but he kind of kindnessly moved me into the PCA. And my wife, Renee, she loved Jerram. It was almost like I trusted him. And I trusted Jesus, but I also needed some human beings who said, no, man, we really need you. It's not perfect. You're gonna feel like you're a long way from where you were in the Black Pentecostal movement. But I loved Reformed doctrine. And so between Jerram Bars working me over at Covenant Seminary in the mid-90s, and Randy Neighbors and Jim Pickett in Chattanooga, it didn't really hurt to have somebody like Rudy Schmidt, who was one of my ruling elders, who was like the most kind, big German dude. He scared me to death when I first met him. But it didn't hurt to see the hearts of men and women at a church like New City. And that's really what drew me into the denomination. So being here, I would like to see us do more things at the General Assembly that will say, well, you're welcome if you're what some people say a non-PCA type. I welcome the day when racial reconciliation issues, a lot of socioeconomic issues, I welcome the day that they will not be issues anymore. So we have to start working on them not being issues. Because I would love for our General Assembly to be something that is just so awesome and people were fighting to get here, that it's, and I know the Lord is not so much about numbers, but I do believe we need more people to provide more voices, more seats at the table, so that we can actually hear from people who are now just kind of those people or them people over there. Instead of reading about them or watching that demographic on television and forming our understanding of them, if we get some of them at the table, then it'll feel more like what we say at South City, we are an uncommon family. And that's what we are at our church. I have an assistant pastor who's a 28-year-old white millennial, and I'm the 59-year-old black dude, and sometimes I wear custom-made suits. He wears the skinny jeans and the, you know, so we got everybody covered, sort of, you know. So when you come to the table and there's really no reason to say, well, this table ain't for me, but you look around and you see people like you, I think it helps you come, it helps you come to the table and realize that not only are the people who are sitting around the table not just sitting there, but they actually can plan what's going to be on the menu. And that's the thing for minorities. It's hard for us to be in a room and not be able to decide what the menu choices are, or how do we have an impact and help you with how you worship, and not kind of feel like we're singing black songs because, well, white folks feel guilty. No, how do we educate each other into saying, well, this is why this song was written. This is why it's important to people who are descendant from slaves. And this is why white folks can actually sing this song, because Jesus is in this song. And you don't have to feel like we're trying to take you back to the past so you can feel really, really, really guilty, and we can laugh at you and say, yes, you know how it feels, because that's really not what we want to do.